Hey, this is Leadership TV News. I am Nefisat Abdurrahman. The Kano State Police Commissioner, Dr. Ibrahim Adamu Bakary, has dismissed the reported misunderstanding between him and Governor Yusuf, insisting that they hold each other in high respect. The police commissioner's position is coming on the heels of recent calls by the governor for his redeployment for refusing to participate in the Nigeria 65th anniversary parade. Governor Yusuf had openly accused the police commissioner of undermining his government and asked for his immediate redeployment out of the state. However, the police authority appears to have shunned the governor's plea, leaving Commissioner Bakary to continue overseeing the affairs of the command. Speaking at a press briefing on the activities of the command, Monday, CP Ibrahim Bakary said, "We don't have any misunderstanding or problems with the government and governor of Kano State, as we have a very cordial relationship." The commissioner said, acting in line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, charging all commands and formations to dominate the public space and aggressively and strategically tackle all forms of criminal activities. Today, I am pleased to announce to you the successful arrest of 9 suspects involved in a series of armed robbery operations in Kano State. He said the arrest was triggered by a report of an armed robbery incident that occurred on October 8, 2025 at about 2 a.m. at a residence in Angwan-Wambai, Dorai Baba Quarters, Kano. The robbers, armed with rifles, made away with a Toyota Yaris motor vehicle, foreign and local currencies amounting to 3,700,000 naira, 3 mobile phones, and other valuables. In the process, they also brutally assaulted the complainant's wife, removing one of her teeth with a diamond, causing her grievous hurt. Police officers attached to Dorei Divisional Headquarters responded and arrested 1 suspect. On my instruction, the Command Special Intervention Squad moved in and rounded up other 8 suspects at different locations within Kaduna and Kano states. The Kano State Hizbah Board has arrested a young man, his bride, and 5 others for allegedly conducting a marriage ceremony without parental consent or following Islamic procedures in the Nasarawa area of Kano metropolis. The suspects included the groom, identified as Aminu, aged 23, and the bride, Sadia, aged 22. Others arrested were Omar, 24, who acted as the groom's representative, Abubakar, 23, who served as the bride's guardian, Usaina, 21, and 2 other young women who were witnesses to the marriage. According to reports, the marriage was contracted with the bride price of 10,000 naira without the approval of the couple's parents. Confirming the incident, the Deputy Commander General of the Hizbah Board, Dr. Mujahideen Aminuddin, said the suspects were apprehended following complaints from concerned residents who reported the illegal union. He explained that the actions of the suspects violated Islamic teachings and the state's marriage regulations, stressing that the Hizbah Board would not tolerate any act that undermines religious and legal procedures governing marriage in Kano State. Dr. Aminuddin added that those arrested are currently in Hizbah custody for further investigations. The federal government has directed vice-chancellors of all federal universities in Nigeria to commence enforcement of no work, no pay policy against members of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU. Leadership TV reports that university teachers are currently on strike over federal government's inability to meet their outstanding demands. The directive was contained in a circular dated October 13, 2025 and signed by the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa. In line with the provisions of the labor law of the Federation, the federal government reiterates its position on the enforcement of the no work, no pay policy in respect of any employee who fails to discharge his or her official duties during the period of strike action. The circular was copied to the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Director General of the Federation, Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Permanent Secretary of Education, pro-chancellors of all federal universities, the Accountant General of the Federation, and the Executive Secretary of the NUC. The Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, said he has tripled his security due to death threats he received from individuals whose mining licenses were revoked. He disclosed this in a statement on Sunday by his spokesperson, Segun Tomori. Alake said the death threats followed his insistence on reforming the country's mining sector. He vowed to enforce mining regulations, no matter whose ox is God. According to him, improved regulations have boosted the contribution of mining to Nigeria's gross domestic production from less than 0.5% to 1.8%, according to data from the National Bureau of Statistics for the second quarter of 2025. Our desire for a very conducive operating environment should not indulge those who are in constant default of the regulation. We won't tolerate that. I have had to triple my personal security following threats received from some of those whose licenses were revoked, but I am undaunted. Our confidence is hinged on the fact that we are waging the battle based on principle and for the sake of our country, Alake said. Moving on to the international scene, preliminary results from Cameroon's presidential election suggest that opposition leader Issa Chiroma Bakary was making unexpected gains in regions long considered strongholds of President Paul Biya, who has ruled the Central African nation for over 4 decades. Early tabulations from several commune councils across the country showed Bakary's Front for the National Salvation of Cameroon gaining grounds against Biya's ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement. Biya, 92, who is seeking another term in office, faced 9 challengers, including former allies and cabinet members such as Bello Buba Megari, a former minister of tourism, and Bakary, who until recently served as Minister of Employment. The long-serving leader cast his vote at a primary school in Yaoundé, the capital city, where he declined to discuss his chances. I will wait for the official results, Biya said briefly after voting. A journalist monitoring the process said Bakary, 79, was leading in several polling booths across Yaoundé's 7 commune provinces. From the results coming from various polling booths across the 7 commune provinces in Yaoundé, Bakary is taking an early lead, according to a source. Each commune reportedly contains between 40 and 50 polling booths, making Yaoundé a key battleground in the context. Bakary, who hails from Garau in the far north region, is also said to be outperforming Bello Buba Megari in their shared home region, a surprising twist in what was expected to be Biya's traditional power base. And that's it on Leadership TV News. For more of our news stories, you can log on to our website on www.leadership.ng. I am Nefisat Abdurrahman. Many thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word. Thank you for watching. For sponsorship